Hello, this is Joe with Just Below Average Model Cars, bringing you my final build of 2024. My Monogram 65 Corvette Coupe. This here kit number 2925 from Monogram. It's an old kit, copyright, let's see if I can find it, 1991. Got it off eBay some time ago. Got a good price on it. Corvette kits, usually there's lots of them, so you can get pretty good prices on them. Like I've said before in my videos, I'm not a Corvette guy, but I love this body style Corvette. It's my favorite. And this kit went together very nicely. There's no fit problems with it. I'll go over one or two things that were little not clear in the instructions, but the fit, it was really good. If I would have, even if I had left it red, now it's molded in red and came out good. I used a Rust-Oleum 2X primer on the body. I put about 2 or 3 coats on it to cover up the red, and did a pretty good job. I don't see any bleed through. What I used on the body was this Testors Aztec Pearl Blue airbrush paint. I bought there's a pack of 6 of these at Hobby Lobby for I don't remember, it's like $10 years ago on clearance. So this is obviously defunct, and it probably could have used a little bit of thinning because the paint didn't lay down super smooth, as you might be able to see in the front on the nose piece there, and in some areas I used Testors Wet Look Clear on the body and sanded and polished it, as you might be able to see. Anyways, I'll show you here when it comes around. Well, I'll just show you right now. Accidents happen, and while this is not a perfect kit, perfect build, you see right there that little line on my door. I think that's super glue from when I put on this rocker panel trim. By the time I noticed it, I was doing final build, and it's like, well, it is what it is at this point. I think it came out good. The color's absolutely beautiful, I think. So let's go over some of what I did with this kit. I foiled the emblems on front. Let's zoom in a little bit. I foiled those emblems on front, and I foiled the window trim and the door handles, and that's about all the foiling. I used some Molotov pen. My real thin line pen, the tip clogged up and wouldn't clear up, so I poured the paint into a jar, and I painted that with that. That stuff has a shelf life apparently, because it doesn't chrome up as well as it used to. And on the Corvette emblem back here, I used a gel pen. I used the decal. I just cut it out and glued it on with Aleene's tacky glue for the decal for the license plate. I only had 2 decals in the kit, the license plate and this one on the hood. The engine's very nicely detailed. There's no distributor per se. Corvettes had some type of shielding device over the distributor, so this part is actually attached to the air cleaner. It's got an upper radiator hose, a nice radiator. The firewall is nicely detailed. Okay, one problem I had putting this kit together, and there's one fit issue, and it has to do with the battery. I just see the batteries in there, right in here. You have you glued on before you put the body on, and I could not get the chassis to sit flat in the body until I removed the battery. So I put the battery. That's why it's a little crooked. I didn't realize that till just now. What a crappy place for a battery, anyways. But I had to take the battery off, and I put the battery in after I put the body on. The hood works really well, fits really nice. You can see right here the graininess of the substrate of the base coat. You can see my clear coat is pretty smooth, but the and I got a whatever that is in there, but the paint, the color is just great. I used a Tamiya black wash in the spokes of the wheel, in the grill, on the middle of the spinners. I used it on the middle of the gas cap. Now the other thing that was weird about the kit, not weird about the kit, but it's just not very clear in the instructions. This cross member, let's zoom out a little bit. How about the other way? So this cross member here has got a tab that the transmission mount goes on, and it faces forward, faces towards the front of the car. It's not very clear in the directions. So just remember that if you're building one of these kits, that at least for the big block, that goes forward. And I just used Rust-Oleum satin black for the chassis. And I'm trying to remember what I used for the engine. I think I used Shortcuts, Krylon Shortcuts orange for the engine. That's what I used. And just a little bit of tester steel for the suspension components and the rear leaf spring and the axle half shafts and the drive shaft. I put a little black wash in the drive shaft on the U-joints so they stand out a little bit. Interior took a while because I used this paint for the carpet, and it's to try. And I went over the bare red plastic, and I should have primed it first, but it took a lot of coats. And this is an inexpensive paint, so the pigmentation is probably not as high as some of the other ones, but it was the color I was going for the carpet. Now for the interior, the vinyl parts, I used this, what is this? Anita's metallic paint, sapphire. And again, I tried to spray the dash and the seats with this after I did prime those, and I couldn't get it to spray right. I'm not sure if it was my gun, my airbrush, because I got an old cheap Harbor Freight airbrush. I've used it quite a fair amount, and but it just would not spray. It would just, maybe I needed to thin it even more, but it was sputtering out. And anyway, so I painted the seats by hand and the dash by hand. I noticed later that there's a sink mark in the dash right here. So if you build one of yours, check that and fill that out. Fill that if it matters to you. I used Tamiya black wash on the seats. I'll throw a picture of the interior outside of the car over here so you can see that better. And I put Tester's clear part cement over the gauges to make it look like there's glass on the gauges. It's kind of hard to see in here, so I'll put a picture up of that. Anyways, this kit was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. The spraying this Aztec is supposed to be airbrush ready paint, but I should have thinned it a little bit more. Probably would have worked a little better. But the color, I can't argue with the color. I saw a blue on blue Corvette, and when I was researching this build, and I thought that's where I want to go. Black, red Corvette. That's a little too cliche for me. So a little blue Corvette works for me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for my subscribers. Thanks to all the comments. I like to read each comment. I try to give each comment a like and a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. This has been a fun year, and look forward to 2025, putting out more videos. And have a nice day.